Alright, carrying on, we are looking at ethical considerations, third topic out of 4 in this unit. And last lesson we looked at reporting the findings. As much as possible, I want to prepare students to be able to write about things like informed consent and anonymity, and those considerations they're already aware of, maybe with leaving the third point open to a general point about how the research might cause harm or how reporting findings could cause harm and what they might need to think about. But you definitely want them to be prepared to write about one or two, like anonymity, informed consent, debriefing, just to build their confidence so they know what they're trying to do when they go into the exam. Right, and same thing with applying the findings. This is going to be, the second ethics question is going to be very tricky, and so this lesson is going to help them understand how we can answer this. Okay. Alright, so just review what it means to explain an ethical consideration. I don't think we can repeat this too much. And a reminder that ethics are relevant to conducting the study, reporting it, and applying the findings. A strange addition to the guide, if I do say so. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out with the stimulus, with the report, because you're going to have some sort of summary of how the findings are applied, have been applied in the report itself. So that'll be a change from the last curriculum. So I don't think any of us are too ready, or we don't know too much what to expect. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so how are ethics relevant to application of findings? Bit of charades. I like to play charadenary. I give them you can draw pictures, Pictionary, or you can act it out. Charadenary. Anyway, I tell students write down two key terms they play in teams, and I think this is a pretty good instruction. Terms that not everyone would think to write, but everyone should know, and I do try and get them to do it from memory, because yeah, that's part of the review process. Now here's a bit of a hook. They're in government and they've got the power to approve. They've got the power to say yay or nay. Right, so do you support or oppose these proposals? Okay, and so these are based on studies, and then there's a particular proposal, right? So breastfeeding is better than bottle feeding, so we're going to ban bottle feeding, or we're going to give some more money to schools in poor areas so they can have breakfast. Now, they're in government, would they say, yep, go for it, or do they say no? Why is this relevant? This is looking at applying findings of studies. So we're using a study to inform our decision, and so that activity leads us into the chalk and talk. So what does it mean to apply the findings, right? So when our results or conclusions of a study are used to inform or justify an action. That's my definition of it. I think that's what we're thinking about. And again, that's quite abstract. So the more specific examples we can have, the better. And here are some 3 that from studies that have been used in the course. And there's a 4th one as well. Okay, so they're going to have a list of ways that findings have been applied, and it's in this particular blog post. And what they have to do is, I didn't explain it very well. Sorry, I'm going to add some instructions here to this slide. But they have to explain the ethical consideration. Right, what's the ethical consideration in applying the findings? And what we're looking at here, remind them, is how might applying these findings cause harm in some way, and that's one step, and that by itself could be enough. And then going further would be, and what can the researchers do to reduce the chances of that harm? But with applying the findings, the researchers really can't do much. It's up to someone else to do it. So when someone else is applying your findings, you can't really do much about that. Maybe. So yeah. All right. So I'll put some more instructions on this slide. Don't you worry. And here are the notes for the application of findings. Again, extension can try this in the past papers. I will go through the past papers and make sure that at least one of all the static questions are addressed for all the past papers. I'll make a note to do that now. Okay, traffic lights to reflect, and that's the end of the topic 9.3, ethical considerations. There's another thing I need to correct, and next topic is evaluating studies.